squeeze. Let's see if we can squeeze out of this. So the question is, Talmud Torah Keneged Kulam. If we use neged in the same sense we find in the Pasuk in Bereshit Bet, Lotov Yotadom Avado, right? Okay, Esolo Ezer Kenegdo, in terms of Pshat. Negdo or Kenegdo there means what? What do you say?
Helper that corresponds.
I don't need the helper part. Give me the Keneged part.
That corresponds.
Corresponds. Anybody have anything? That's good. Anybody have anything else?
Counter.
Counter. Well, counter is going to come.
Balance.
Anybody see counter in Rashi, right?
A match.
Rashi has a counter. You have what?
A match.
A match.
Well,
Ezer Kenegdo as a match. Okay. We have counter a few things here.
balance.
A balance. Wonderful. Okay. It seems here everyone here has been to a Jewish wedding. I'm going to learn that, use that pasuk so much, because that's good. Okay. I see in terms of that pshat, at least something there, something which can respond. I'm trying to put the different pshatim together. Stands apart but responds. So in that sense, Torah therefore is responsive. Stands apart from Torah that you have. Looks at those other 9 values. And if you look at those values, these are core societal and core Jewish values. It has to be able to stand and look at it. Kind of sense of a match, a balance, the notion of relevance. Let's go to the Rashi on this. And the Rashi, therefore, the Kenegdo in this case, for Rashi is what? The word Kenegdo, not the Ezer, but Kenegdo. It's a warning. It's a warning thing. The kind of what? Opposed. Kenegdo is in opposition. Okay, let's go to the third. The Yehoshua. All right, Yoni, you set yourself up for this. How do you understand? It's in the book of Joshua. It's in those chapters. All right, there's the shofars are extended. They go forth. The people are on attack. Each man negdo. Okay, it's a good place to start.
How could you advance against someone else?
You mean something else, I think.
So negdo, many of the translations say forward. I think what they're saying is negdo against the goal, or is the opposition. Against what the opposition is. Anybody have a different interpretation?
Enemy.
Against the enemy. Different in terms of neged. It's a leadership deal. The fourth one. Keneged arba banim. Oh, she had something on the third?
I feel that it's positional, it's a direction.
It's directional. Okay, that's good. That's what I was looking for. Thank you. That's a help. And our fourth one, Keneged arba banim, which your Haggadah normally translates in a very powerful way. About 4 sons, right? Every moral says, what do you have, Phil?
I don't have anything.
But what does Brad have?
Brad says that each pasuk is Keneged, and one of the pasuk corresponds.
Well, each one corresponds. There's a Hasidic interpretation that Keneged arba banim is that each one stands in a very special spot. You have to understand each one in their special place. So I'm going to try to take the 4 into this way that you've helped me with. I can change it a little bit in terms of what I had. In the first one, the relationship of the 9 values to the last one, Keneged Kulam, is that Torah has to be relevant, has to stand and look all of these values in its face and be able to say something to each one of those values, and let those values also be relevant to the study of Torah itself. According to the second one is the oppositional statement. Let me just tell you, sometimes as teachers of Torah, you're going to have to stand up and you're going to have to demand time for Torah. Listen to Reb, but they'll say to you, teacher, they'll say to you, I know you're a Pardes teacher, but isn't there a great value? This is a Parents' Day at the school, so that we won't learn Talmud today because it's Parents' Day? Or is there a great value in some other type of activity? You'll have to stand up for Torah. You have to be oppositional. And the third one, which is negdo, you're going to have to face your direction and actually point in the direction, not just conversation about possibilities of meaning, but also what this might really mean in people's life. I want to go to the fourth one. I want to go to that interpretation that I spoke about, that each one stands in its place. I think the real kind of divides between the first and the fourth. But in terms of relevance, of making sure that Torah is relevant to social needs and communal needs, and in terms of communities being relevant to Torah, I'm not worried about any of us in this regard. I'm not worried about you. You're all charismatic. You're all great. You've already shown this possibility, and you will be able to do this. But there's something else that you can contribute that is so different, and that's the keneged of the Torah in its own place. You who have understood what it means to finally get the Holy Grail, I'm mixing my religious metaphors here, the Holy Grail of Pardes, which is to find pshat, and then to go to meaning. And how much we can't take it anymore. We've been brainwashed to go to meaning without going to what does pshat first have to say. And we know there's a multitude of ways towards pshat. But this notion of Torah, you've been able to do this in Torah, you've been able to see the flow of a Talmudic page. I have one memory when everyone's been talking. When we first tried to shop this idea of taking the Torah and this Beit Midrash and what was going on, and find some way, and some foundation, in some place that would be able to support it. It was like starting that process some 13 years ago, a little more. 13 years ago, one foundation had me speak to a theorist, educational theorist, and who asked me just one question, and I wrote down part of it. To this day I don't understand it. Part of the question had to do with stratification of, I think, knowledge base. I don't understand the question. So I said, could you repeat it? The guy made it a little bit easier. Then he said, what do you want to do, finally, in the end? I said, all I want to do is I want to have teachers go out there and make students love Rashi and make it the most important thing in the world, just like they have within the Pardes Beit Midrash. So he said, oh, that? All right, so that's not the foundation where we got the support. So well there. We found the foundation that understood that was able to expand the horizons of this idea. For me, and I've had the opportunity to study with pretty good people in my time, to walk into Pardes classrooms and to hear a level of discourse which is real, which is true, which is not false, and a lot of it's coming from the students themselves, using everything that they can muster to understand that Rashi and others, and to understand that pasuk, and to understand that section of the Talmud. We're doing something very special here. So there's everything is here keneged. Everything here is every possibility. And we just say that first story of keneged talks about love. It will stand with you always keneged. With total love, total appreciation. You're ready to sit down and learn a pasuk together. Thank you.
We heard our graduates allude to the importance of their teachers as role models. So let's take a moment, all of us in this room, to pay a special tribute to the pedagogy teachers, the teaching coaches, the Beit Midrash teachers, the Hebrew college professors, all of the teachers that make the Pardes Community Special and the Pardes Educators Program what it is. Will all the teachers please stand? Graduates join me as well in thanking the Pardes professional team for your efforts throughout the year. I join along with the students in giving a special thanks to Gail Kirshner, administrative coordinator, my friend, my partner, for your hard work, positive energy, and individual attention to our students and to all of us. Cohort 10. You hold a special place in my heart as the first cohort that I've worked with from the first application all the way through to today. You share a passion for text study, for Jewish education, a love of children, a deep connection to Israel. You are ready to begin your teaching careers. There's always more to learn, but you've advanced beyond our expectations over the last 2 years. We bless you as you set forth on your journey to change the world of Jewish education, one classroom at a time. Mazel tov. We're moving into the final phase of our program, the awarding of certificates, the singing of Hatikva, after which we invite you to a delicious dessert reception. To present certificates and gifts from Pardes and the Avichai Foundation, we call upon Sherwin Pomerantz, Pardes board member, Rabbi Michael Haddon, Pardes Educators Program Beit Midrash Coordinator, and Dr. Susan Wall, Director of the Pardes Educator Alumni Support Project. As I present the graduating class, try to hold your applause until all of the educators have been honored. They'll be in alphabetical order. Brad Bernstein, serious, witty, intellectual. Drew Cohen, astute, accomplished, passionate. Kelly Cohen, talented, insightful, charismatic. David Fain, determined, imaginative, resourceful. Becca Farber, dynamic, creative, meticulous. Tamara Frankel, idealistic, gifted, thoughtful. Aviva Gershman, poised, wise, open. Phil Keisman, aspiring, multifaceted, inquisitive. Iva Litvak, honest, eclectic, thorough. Nechama Malkiel, modest, articulate, perceptive. Amy Martin, outgoing, innovative, idealistic. Karina Rock, original, optimistic, expressive. Yoni Shear, versatile, diligent, magnetic. Daphne Spear, conscientious, smart, cheerful. Cohort 10.
For her leadership, her friendship, sharing and her professionalism always. Thank you, Judy.
Great job, yes, you're inspired. Thank you. You too.